Hello, it's Tuesday. It's another squad line battle. I'm Garthnix. Welcome. So, first things first, as always, I'm just going to quickly say thank you to the people who have followed since last time because I kind of don't get a chance to do it as the stream's going on. So, we've got SCDB Mulverfelchen, Brad Slaps, Oscar 1336, Lotkar, Wobegon 21, Blitzoy, Dyslexic United, Untied, sorry, not United, Texas Red 69, Madcap, and Novas. So massive thanks to you. I literally can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm like 2 followers away from 300 followers, which is crazy. I don't know, like when I first started doing Squad Line Battle back in, when was it? October, November time. I did not have that many. I did not have that many. I had like 5. So that's crazy. So thank you to everyone that's followed, and I'll start with the thanks as well. Like, so thank you again to the organisers of Squad Line Battle. So that's Werner Voss, first and foremost. Then it's Dragster and S1, who's done a cracking job of recent weeks in kind of getting all the servers sorted and stuff like that. Massive thanks to Core and to Don D, as always, for providing the servers. And massive thanks to the players for coming along, making Squad Line Battle what it is. We're going to get into it in a minute, but without the players, this would be nothing. And obviously, thanks to you, the viewers, for watching as well. I know some of you are players, so double thanks to you. Awesome. Okay, so like I said, we're on Samurai Église today. Back in the classic competitive map. Squadline Battle, not exactly competitive though, so whilst it is going to be sweaty as always, and there's going to be a lot of good shooters, good tactics, good strats, the difference between Squadline Battle, for those that don't know, and the regular competitive is that competitive is kind of communities or clans who they're like planning all together. They come up with their strats, they do practices together, then they'll play against each other, like against different communities. Squad Line Battle, you will see players from all communities, and we'll get into that in a minute. Communities from across the Hell Let Loose like a wider community, but everybody joins as a squad. So you'll see there's squads from Phalanx this week, there's squads from CC, there's squads from Fins Let Loose, there's squads from, I think, did I see PKKA? So everybody joins as a squad, and you can just be, it doesn't have to be communities either. You can just be like with your friends or tag along with somebody else, as long as you come as a squad. And there is a briefing before the game where the commanders talk to their troops, their squads, ahead of the game, kind of lay out their plan. But it's not got that kind of level of planning and preparation that you might see in other games of competitive. So it's kind of in between like a public game and a competitive game. It's kind of like a public game where everybody knows what they're doing, and oftentimes like the squads themselves have really great cohesion because they all play together in competitive. It can sometimes be a place where competitive communities come to kind of bring their new recruits to give them a taste of like something a little bit more than just like public games, to test them out to see if they're any good or not before they sign them up to the main team. So you will see good plays today, but it's not like a full competitive match for the competitive stuff at the moment. The big thing is the spring seasonal. So do go check that out. You can look on my stream for a bunch of kind of connections to that, but go to, I think it's springseasonal.com, hellletloosespringseasonal.com, to check that out, or they've got the Discord, which obviously you can join from the website as well. I myself and No Connection do a show every Monday called The Recapping, which was on yesterday on my channel. So if you look in the videos below, you can see that, which kind of will get you up to date with where we are on the seasonal. But like we're ways in now, so we've gone through the qualifier stages. We're into the main stage. We've had round 2 of the main stage. We've got round 3 coming up, and it's a big round because there's going to be people moving on to the playoffs, like securing their spot in the playoffs, and there's going to be people going out of the competition from the main stage. So really big stuff. So go check that out. But today, Squad Line Battle, like I say, public game where people know what they're doing. On Samurai Église, so let's check out the map real quick. I'll just drop this strat sketch, and then we'll kind of have a little look at what we talk about. We're going to be from the filming from the Axis side today, so the German lines, as you can see, kind of on the left here. Maybe I should have done a straighter line than that. Let's get a nice straight line going on. And then we've got the allies who'll be in red when we get into it on the right hand side. And the centre points, of course, Hospice, St Mary-Église and Checkpoint. Definitely St Mary-Église and Hospice preferred over Checkpoint, probably for both teams. But this is a real interesting match. So it's it's a combination kind of map. So as you can see, we've got the village in the middle of St Mary-Église, or the town really, and the Hospice up north. But there's all these open fields and lots of open spaces around. So really great map for tanks as well. Just to kind of cover for those that don't know, what we will see from the Allies, if it's at Hospice, is tanks coming from this area and trying to kind of lock down this sort of little field thing here. Can I draw a thing, please? Like trying to lock down this area out the back, and then from the German side they will push up from Rue de Harras and be trying to lock this area down here. I don't know if that's going to let me do it. Not really. Try and lock this area down here because there's like wheat fields and stuff over there. So kind of pushing from that side. You're not going to see too many plays. Let me get this little guy in green. You're not going to see too many plays in this area out in the fields, whatever happens, because that's super open, and people are going to kill you if you're messing around in there. But through the top area here, it's like an orchard. You will see advances from the Germans and a push from the Allies. If they cap Hospice, they will definitely come through and be pushing towards Rue de Harras, if that's the next point, or even flanking around to Weston. What you'll also see, if Hospice is the point, is definitely fighting around this area and up in the road and kind of all through these like back gardens, trying to get up to it, because that's a really powerful, especially this kind of like back garden area out here. That's like a really important area to capture on this side of the road. You'll also see lots and lots of artillery if Hospice is the main point, because it's very, very open. You can see this is kind of like a main house here, and just in this back garden here, you're going to see loads and loads of artillery dropping. You might also see kind of garrisons up like at the top here as well in the wheat field for the Germans, and on this side of the road here for the Allies. If St Mary-Église is the main point, it kind of focuses around this church, as you can see in the centre. And for the Allies, they really have to take control of these like buildings, sort of here, really. And also they're going to be wanting to have something set up in this garden over this side. It's also quite likely that they would come in from the bottom here and try and get something set up. So you'll see probably fighting between the Germans in this area as well. They're going to want to probably set something up there. I've done my wrong tool there, haven't I? So set their garrison up probably around this area, in here, probably sort of fortifying these back garden areas through this way as well. There's some kind of routes of attack like through these buildings where you can kind of get through, even coming down this way. There's a way through the back gardens here as well, and certainly some ways in here. You're going to see loads and loads and loads of use of artillery if this is the main point, and you might see some satchels actually on the church as well, because once there's people inside the church, it's real hard to clear them out. But if you put a satchel on the wall, that's not good for anybody who's camping inside. On the checkpoint, of course, you're going to see in this like big open area down to the south here, you're going to see like a lot of tank plays probably. This is a really, really powerful area here for tanks to be moving up for the Allies, and obviously vice versa for the Germans. You'll see them kind of move through Rue de Gambersville into this area, maybe quite as wide as that, like here, into this kind of area, and see them just try and set up basically through these hedges to take out, as you can see, where the Allied tanks would be. It's also a pretty powerful thing for the Allies to be able to get their tanks into this kind of back garden area as well. You can see that there's kind of buildings on both sides of the road. You'll probably see garrisons going up for the Allies or whoever caps it, but especially the Allies in this area. And you're going to see if the Allies are, if they have this point, and if the Allies are coming up through, then you'll see a lot of kind of movement, not just down this road, but down this stream as well. The streams in the bottom half of this map are quite powerful, coming from Ruda Gambersville. There's kind of like some cover coming through there, but again, you know, they're known about. They're going to be artillery targets. These people who are playing, as I mentioned at the start, are going to know what they're doing. The thing that's going to make the second points difficult for both teams is if they are kind of diagonal. You know, that's a long way to run. You have to have that cohesion to be able to redeploy, and we're going to see probably some flanking around the back of like Western Approach or even Ruda Gambersville to take out garrisons around Cemetery. I mean, Cemetery to Checkpoint is like it's a very, very difficult one to defend. Like if you're the allies, if Checkpoint's the middle and your second point is Cemetery, this is really, really rough to get back to. This is super open here. You've kind of got a real open area behind as well. This is all really open, and you're going to just have artillery dropping on you all over the place. So you need to be kind of pre-set up there. And as you can see, the Germans can actually kind of move in through here as well, through this way, up from here, coming in from Maison. Like they've got a lot of routes of approach. So let's get into the server. I think we've just started. So let me get into the game, and then I will get us up in the sky and have a little look what's going on.
But the top HQ already built, so I think he needs to move away from North HQ if you want the third one.
Yeah, take the truck.
Bit of command check here.
Behind us.
But we'll get rid of them for a minute. We might check in with those guys halfway through to kind of see, you know, how stressed out everybody is. And let me make sure I've got the HUD up for you guys all the time. That is always on. So we've just finished the deploy phase, and I will get us up in the air. Hopefully you can see there. Oh, let's get rid of that. So hopefully you can see there the map. We've got Saumur-Église as the central point, and then Maison du Cric down here for the Allies, and Rue de Arras. Looking at the map, you can see a lot of markers going down. There they are. There's the markers. Lots and lots of move markers, so already the team's starting off with good communication. And as I mentioned before, we're going to see in Saumur-Église this area be really important, and that's why we've got a call-in artillery marker here. We're going to see these areas, like I mentioned before, in the back gardens be really important. This area that comes through the back garden as well be really important, and you can see they've started to cap it here. But let's go catch up with these trucks. They've already started to drop some people off here, but we're going to probably see artillery already coming into this area. They've also dropped some people off. Let's get really high in the air. You can see those buildings that I mentioned there, where all of these guys have kind of posted up and they're going to be running through. You can actually see that that's exactly where the artillery marker is, right? And our first kill of the game. The truck's down, but there's nobody left in it. The Germans slightly disadvantaged at this point because you can see it's in F column. So slightly quicker to get to for the Allies, and they have that great building there where Maestro and Calzius are set up as well. We're going to see the garrisons going up right on the edge of the blue line here, so they've got the least distance to run. We might see another one. I don't know, we're just seeing OPs going up, and we're seeing OPs getting closer and closer, so there's some below us here in these back gardens and kind of down the road as well. Despite artillery markers, I'm not seeing artillery dropping. There's a new marker. We can see it's not terribly accurate, but we're going to see somebody with a satchel. So that can be either an engineer, that can be an AT, that can be Mr. Strze, whatever his name is, over there as the assault class. Somebody's going to try and satchel this church. It's inevitable. So we'll kind of wait for that. I see the Panzer IV below us as well. Let me get that highlighted for you. Oh, I've like scrolled too far through it. And you can see that they're getting shots over here on this 75. 75 just falling back, but it goes down. Great kill there, and first blood tank battle wise to the Panther below us. Flood down here maybe is going for the satchel, but I'm not sure he has it. He is a recruit there for Dundee, so I don't know how high his level is, whether he's got the class unlocked as assault to be able to place the satchel. It's like the top level class. We might also see some use of AT guns throughout the match here today as well, so we'll try and keep an eye out for that. those of you who've kind of watched the stream before, you know that my preferred method of covering these games is sort of from above. I'm a bit of a like Company of Heroes, Command and Conquer type of guy, so I like to see what's going on from the sky, keep an eye out for stuff like supply drops, for the recon planes going over, watch what the tanks are doing, like this Panther below us, getting some good shots off on these guys down over here as well. But I will try and get some close-up action for you guys as well. But they've done a great job here, the Axis, because it's, as I mentioned before, it's slightly easier for the Allies to post up and get those positions early, but they're doing a great job. They've got in the church, the Axis here in the blue dots, they got in the church and they're doing a cracking job of capping the point now. 1 hour 23 remaining on the clock, and you can see already that, as I mentioned before, we'll see lots of fighting down in this area, and that's what's happening. So got some artillery falling here. I guess that's the Allied artillery. I'll go and check in with them in a minute. So our commander on this side is Boiter, and then I think it's Ananazas. Where is Ananazas? Ananazas on the other side. Hopefully we're going to get him into a chat at the end of the game, onto the stream, and have a little bit of a chat with us. Unfortunately, the Axis commander is not able to make it. He's got a prior engagement, but it should be interesting to get some insight about how the game's gone. Doing a good job here, the Germans, not just of pushing into the point, but keeping this kind of line flat below us. You can see that on the map they've like lined right up along the road here, and it's allowing them to meet the enemy head on. And they've done another good job as well of putting the markers down, because without that communication, you know, especially as these teams are made up of squads that maybe haven't played together much before and maybe don't know each other, that communication, placing those markers, which you can see below us, really, really important to be able to let your other squads know what's going on. Just looking at this tank here, and it's getting hits on it from the Panther down the road, and it's not going to look good for this little baby. There he goes. See ya. Not going to care, because he's going to go back to the spawn now and pick out the 76, because that's going to be able to spawn in about a minute. So they're going to be waiting for the 76 there, the Allies at the spawn, which you can kind of see over in pink over here, I believe. Oh no, it's further than that, right? What is that in pink? Strange. Normally the arty guns show up in pink. They're over here. There they are. So we'll see the 76 spawn in a minute. Shout out to the guys on the arty here. We've got three guns set up. You can see the nodes as well, getting those all important supplies that you can see at the top, although they're obviously the Allies, and they're getting flanked on at the moment by Nagat squad, Dondi, Lonix, and Typhon going to take out the arty there. But despite these smokes kind of going down, they've done a job of taking Samaracles, and now they're going to be trying to move on Maison de Creek. We see the supplies dropping here for this advanced Gary. The commander's put down a garrison marker. Boiter just here himself, maybe going to go for this one. Perhaps Phlox from PBS. And as I said before, we've got Hell Let Loose Poland. We've got who played at the weekend. Shout out to them. Unfortunately, they lost on Purple Heart Lane to Finns Let Loose. We've got Finns Let Loose playing on the same team. We've got some guys from Dundee who've also brought a recruit. As I said, people like to blood in their new recruits on this format. We've got PBS today. We've got more Dundee guys. Shout out to them again for providing the server. That's me. And then we've got Demos. Shout out to them as always. We've got CC on the other team who play in the competitive kind of mode alongside Hell Let Loose Poland. We've got a bunch, RHA, who I don't see too much of on the server. We've got the boys from Phalanx, Greek community. We've got a bunch, 2 FJG I saw below us. And we can see Juhaz here running for the supplies, but Phlox is there waiting for them. Juhaz is going to get shot out in that open field by Kato, maybe. Yeah, he goes down. So this is an uncontested garrison build here by Phlox, it looks like, and that's going to set them up to move on Maison de Creek. Obviously, they're still experiencing a lot of resistance over here on the line of G column, and possibly still in here, although the markers have kind of gone down. I see a lot of people facing into this direction, so they're probably, yeah. Look, this is where the Allies are fighting, and this is a hot area back here in the back gardens. But unless they manage to take this this garrison and kind of anticipate the move up this road and down this stream. So this is the stream that I mentioned before in the pre-game. Runs right to Maison, and so that's a great spot for a garrison where they've got one up here. If they can spawn some people on, get some pressure going on here, you can see they've already got the guys back to pressurize the arty and consolidate some of defense here in Saint-Mère-Église, then it's going to be really powerful for them. A nice little recon plane going over identifies some of the guys who are fighting in these back gardens, but also showing up this tank. And we see markers going down from Item and Jig Squad on that tank over there. I just want to go and check over on this side because I'm seeing a bit of fighting over here, and I think it looks like the Allies are kind of trying to get a flank. I'm not sure if they've managed to get a garrison here or not. Unfortunately, nobody else is streaming on the Allies side tonight, so I'm not going to be able to show you the map and show you where the garrisons are. But I suggest that they've got one there, so they're kind of going for the flank, but they've got a long, long way to run. Down in through those back gardens, and this area here in particular below us, very, very difficult place to cross and get into the kind of Saint-Mère-Église back gardens in here and to the church. So tricky for them. That's going to be tricky. Already we can kind of see Boita running up, pushing. We've got Flox as well, who is our guy who built that early Gary. He's moving up to, I guess, try and get through this wheat field. It hasn't rendered in for us yet, but this is a wheat field here below us, so he's quite well covered. But he needs to get kills on Heshi, Beard, etc. up here. He's heard them, maybe, has he? Heshi's heard him. Heshi's got the... He's going to shoot him. He's going to shoot him. But Kato knows he's there now. But it's going to be at least 2-on-1 for Kato. Quietly sitting here on the edge of the map. This is literally the very edge of the map. See the minefield markers out to the right there. The little white squares in the top right corner. And Heshi's on the move. Kato can hear him and he goes down. Beard hears the gun of Kato as well, so important to reposition for him. Looking at the map here, this is their move marker. Supplies here, but can't build a garrison there. It's too close to the other one. Beard still thinks he's over there and Kato knows it. Juhaz, who we saw go down running for those supplies earlier, is pushing up hard. Not happy about being killed earlier, but Kato just sitting tight. If he stands up though, I'm your medic, he's going to blat him. Get his head clean off with that machine gun. And it's important for their push here. I'm surprised that we're not seeing them pushing this ditch, but it looks like the Allies have had enough time to get a few people back. I guess they've got a garrison over in this area as well. Let's see if we can find it real quick. Yes, there it is. So Allied garrison just there. I won't ping it because I don't want anyone from our team seeing it. But for you guys, this is the field that we're seeing the combat in below us. Is this road, and just behind that junction there, behind the hedge, you can see that's where the Allied garrison is. Interesting airhead here from the Axis though, so drawing a little bit of pressure from the front, and you can see that they've managed to suck some of these Allied players out of Maison de Creek and into that wheat field. Which isn't necessarily the best thing for the Allies. Like, yes, they do want to be able to clear this area out. However, keeping guys inside the point is going to be so important for them, especially when they're being flanked here from the left as well. We've got Finn Let Loose players, we've got PBS Smakes, kind of stuck out a little bit maybe in this central area, but he's getting some shots off. Sotiri from Phalanx, shout out to him. We've had him on the stream before. He's been a commander on Squad Line Battle as well. Really nice guy. He's doing his best to hold off on the point there, but looking down below us at Saint-Mère-Église Church, they've done a great job of pushing through here. Haven't seen... It's going to be time soon for the airheads to come down, so I'm listening out for planes. But we haven't seen any real effective flanking going on at the church from the Allies. They're kind of trying out in these buildings here, but it is a tough push through this area, because as you can see, you've got across the road, you've got an open field here. Even if you kind of manage to get into these buildings, like, you still really need to get to that first building that we identified and kind of to really camp that out, get a lot of people there before you can push. Probably need smoke shells or something to smoke out Saint-Mère-Église on the church and get through. You can see here though, they are trying this flank that we kind of noticed before. They do have a numerical advantage, and there's not too many people covering this road area. Looks like Sikia may be here. Might notice. What am I hearing here? Is this where's the plane? It's over this way. Is this a bombing run? Yes, it is a bombing run. And this is the Axis bombing run. Clearing the way here for the guys off of the airhead. Lovely stuff. Ananazas hides in the building successfully, but he's not in a good spot here with Smakes, with Lotkas, with Keke, and all these guys pushing down here. They've got that garrison down, of course, as well. And unless they've got another one inside the point, there's obviously an OP in the back garden there, but unless they've got something a bit more spectacular going on in terms of spawns, they're going to be absolutely outnumbered here on Maison de Creek, and we could see a quick cap here for the Germans. This is proxy, but it doesn't matter. The airhead is fine. OPs are up. Lovely stuff. I just saw this go grey though. Saint-Mère-Église and Maison de Creek going to be in a cap race potentially here, because we can see this area, they have managed to get into this important sort of section of gardens and pretty much abandoned the centre of the point here, the Axis. We've got some people here, Caxi squad over here, and the Don D recruit guy, Camper. He's, you know, they need to get closer to the church probably. Just watching that little tank there as well. Is he going to get one up the backside? Yes. And goes down. But it's looking a bit late here on Maison de Creek, completely uncontested. They smoked it out, they pushed in, they cleared out those OPs in the back garden. Last few shots going out, killing the last few guys in Maison, and already I suspect we're going to see supplies falling somewhere around the GAT squad. Lonix, if he can get a garrison up there, we could be seeing a real quick one tonight. They've got a lot of guys up by the cemetery as well, the Axis, ready to kind of push through. Somebody with the machine gun, I'm guessing, took out the truck there. Smokes out on the field. They're already confident that they're going to win this one. I think I agree. Despite Saint-Mère-Église being in a cap race, doesn't matter. Maison is absolutely 3-1 inside the point here. Even with Artie going down, they just need to stay alive. It's too much in the middle, but those Artie guys don't know that. They're trying their best. They haven't got any markers, of course, because there's nobody there to mark it for them. And here we go. I'm surprised, very surprised that they haven't already dropped the supplies here on the GAT, but it's important to put them in the blue as well, because all these garrisons in the blue, they only have a, like, whenever an enemy player gets near to a garrison, which is a whole team spawn point, one of these circles, it gets spawn blocked. If you build it in the blue, they have to get within 10 meters to spawn block it. If you build it in the red here, they only have to be within 100 meters. Each of these squares is 200 by 200, by the way. They only have to be in a 100 meter radius and it gets spawn blocked. So this is the priority then for the commander, and probably sensible. I'm just getting carried away, thinking two attacking. Ebler coming up against this phalanx squad though. Vistic the man to build the garrison below us to the right. There's a lot of allies coming for it. And have they dropped these supplies a little bit far up? If they dropped it here, it might have been easier to build, but look at this number of people coming this way. This is going to be a real bloodbath in a minute. Vistic hanging back. He knows he's got to stay alive. Boiter as well, the commander below us to the right. Again, this is a wheat field that we can see here, so that kind of hasn't spawned in, but they will have a concealment advantage here, the allies, as they push up. Dog squad with the infantry marker, and if they can get shells on that area from their artillery, which is no longer active, it looks like. We can go back and quickly check that in a second. Oh, okay, so that was the Axis as well with the strafing run. If I were them, I might have put the strafing run back here. I think you can still put a strafing run over the artillery. But Lonix, the recon squad lead, goes down in the point. Glan is still up in the roof here at Crossroads. He is going to push it. This is going to be savage down here, and I think we've already seen quite a few kills with Kato, Keke, Carlo. And it's a real nice little flank they've got going on, well spread out, nice kind of patrolling formation below us from the Germans. This is hot though. So they could be experiencing an attack on Maison from those guys that had been capping Saint-Mère-Église. They're going to push through and keep running. They're not going to redeploy. Nice spot for a Gary, and you can see that Lonix is now running back to where those supplies are going to go down. Let's kind of just have a look through this way, and actually it looks like a lot of them have died on the way. Little firefight here with Hazard going down in the field. Bit of left-right AD there from both players, and Epic comes out on top. Carl will know about that though, and even these guys here from Hell Let Loose Poland, they might be able to see all the way up on that field, and Epic might go down in just a second. They are kind of flanking around. Those who have survived, they have managed to kind of push around. They've identified that they need to create a line, as you can see, between Crossroads and the point below us, which is Maison, which is important. And you can kind of see that playing out a little bit. If you look at the players and where they're looking, these little black arrows, you can kind of see that they have been stalled a little bit along that line, and that flank that looked very promising through the wheat field has also stalled out a little bit. However, the supplies are nearly down up here, and once they can kind of complete this line and get some people round, and especially if they can then get some supplies down over here on Love Squad, which is not a recon squad, it's just a regular squad. Don D, Dark, Leonis? God, why is my thing in the way? They are going to be pushing up. And it's important to have not just your recon squads back here, but Misek, nice, good player from CC here, looking for people hunting the artillery, but he hasn't found them yet. He could find this whole squad, to be honest. Hearing machine gun fire out in the field below us. Here's the artillery then for the Allies. Let's go and quickly check on the Axis artillery, because I think they're getting kind of beaten up back here. Mike squad having a tough time. It looks like, yeah, they've got two snipers, two recon squads pushing them. Ideally, they want to get some people into the guns, though. Ryback kind of sitting here waiting, I think, for them to push up again. The same with Babuka. But ideally, they want to be getting somebody in there to drop a few shells at least, because they can really, really help their team here, especially if they start dropping smokes now as Love Squad moves up to the point. Let me try and get back into a better position for you guys. But you can see that Love Squad have this little bit of distance to cover to the point here at Crossroads, and that's where they're getting shot. Gats with a couple of kills there, Eichbauer maybe as well. So securing that kind of area, being able to smoke them out, being able to give them some concealment as they push in, really, really important. Easy Squad, Nagat still up on this right flank, and they still got a decent front line here, although the Finns Let Loose and Don D I see here are kind of looping around a bit, and that's maybe going to kind of turn, you know, if you imagine like a straight line here between the two, if the Finns kind of push out too much this way, then it can allow the Allies actually through and to their rear, which is not going to be good for them. Something just went down here. Is it just a supply truck? No, that's a enemy recon tank. Is it a recon or a light tank? Someone correct me in chat. I'm sure they will. Should be live right now, but my thing is kind of not working too well on the stream. I'm hoping everything's okay. Bear with me. Should be fine. It says live, excellent, but then nothing showing. Always promising, always promising. I see the audio should be good. Let me know if something's wrong. Yes, no connection in the chat. What's going on? Nice to see you. Timainen, let's go. Nice to see you guys. I was having a bit of a moment there with my my creator dashboard, my stream manager, scaring the crap out of me, thinking that I'm not streaming. But no, we're all good. We're all good. Interesting. Enemy infantry marker down below us in the cemetery, and this squad here, they are moving up. Matza goes down. But there's some trades. Hell Let Loose Poland guys did a great job of fighting the Finns the other day, like really, really attacking play. They almost captured the flak, is it flak position? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, on Purple Heart Lane, but wasn't enough in the end, and unfortunately they kind of collapsed a little bit in defense. Let's hope they don't do that now. CC guys as well in the point, who were fighting with them, doing big defense here, but Ebler and Fimis from Finns Let Loose pushing up on the side. Phalanx Maestro goes down. Keeping an eye here, because you can see the caps on, and this bombing run is going to be devastating if it hits right in a minute and kills a bunch of these players. They still need more smokes, I think, but they've managed to get a few down now. It's going to be danger close for Fimis and the Finns Let Loose squad. Use this little tank. Plucky little Panther out the back here. Haven't seen any 76s. Very surprising. Takes one up the backside from Hammerhead. Here comes the bombing run. Got a couple kills. Vespi's going to go down 100%. Hammerhead might even bite the bullet. No, Hammerhead survives, but they're well inside the point. Fim is probably trying to get an OP down inside the point as well. Hammerhead gets another shot up the backside of the Panzer, but he takes out, I think that was a truck, was it? Or a light tank. He's going to try and turn around. I think Hammerhead's out of ammo now. So I don't want to say he's safe exactly, but he could be in a worse position, that Panther. Bombing runs don't take out OPs, so they're still able to spawn in below us with Havoc Squad below. Calziers, Epic, they're all trying their best to get back into the point, and some of them are. Vespi, his spawn's down here as well somewhere, I believe, and Gats is pushing in. Get some nice kills there, but they have got the buildings here. The Finns Let Loose squad, and my god, is it going to be a quick win? This is a big spawn in here. I'm not sure that they're going to be able to get into the point in time, though. It's over halfway capped. Less than half an hour. We've got over an hour remaining, I should say. Kent Brown in the thing. Typhon, get the fuck out. just contesting it. You can see it's kind of going grey there. Wow. This is a bloodbath now for the Allies, and they're really struggling. Look how many blue dots are inside that circle. That's really tricky because they all count for 3 players each. Everybody else in this sector all around is only worth 1. Any allies in this sector are only worth 1 unless they're inside that circle, and then they're worth 3. And right now it's Hammerhead and Gats, it looks like. Misek too really getting stuck in, and Misek doing his absolute best here to defend. And here comes the bombing run from the Allies. Doesn't kill anyone in the building, but it's going to take out Ebler and his whole squad there. Oof. Yikes, that's a big one, and that's actually flipped it. They are contesting it. The Allies are contesting it. Didn't see that coming, but still, PBS squads, Finns Let Loose players coming in. Keke, Black Wolf, but Jesus is flanking. Hammerhead still there. Misik still in the middle of the action. Blimber below us. Vespi, Gats. All the Allies, they're flooding back in. They are contesting it. They are taking it back. If we look here, they are capping it back very, very, very slowly. Until now. Oh my god, this is hanging in the balance. Again, halfway capped. That noise indicates that it's been halfway capped by the axis here. But you see how it's red at the top? That means it's contested again. So, oh my goodness, what an absolute gnarly fight here on the crossroads for the last point. We don't like to see steamrolls here, and I wouldn't say this is exactly a steamroll, because this is so hard fought at the end here. This is really, really well done by the Axis, but cracking stuff from the Allies to hold them back this long, to be honest. Garrison marker goes down on easy. If they've got anybody back in those artillery, no, they can't shoot this deep. Hello. 76 is up, but is it going to be enough? That noise again indicates it's halfway capped by the Axis. I think they've got it this time. I mean, look how many of them are in the middle. There's no bombing run to come and save them this time. And despite Vespi and all those guys, they've done a cracking job trying to hold them off. But my goodness, look how many are inside the point here. We've got the HTD guys. Free, Epic over there. They're kind of having to stay back. Tom Tit, Vnuk, Clancy and his squad having to stay back a little bit. King's here trying to put his OP down, but he's not going to get in. His whole guys in, all his guys in time. Look how many are in this back garden and inside the circle. That vitally important inside the circle, getting those 3 to 1 on the point. And they spawn in here at the Gary, but is Ebler gonna? No, I thought he was gonna shoot it with a rocket or something crazy at the last. But with just over half an hour, we've seen a bit of a quick one here, and it goes to the Axis. 100%. I'm calling it. And there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, victory. Axis forces win. Really great game. Cracking stuff from the Axis there. I mean, wow. These guys smashed it. These guys smashed it. You know, I'm not saying these didn't. I mean, we're just seeing high scores. Look, great stuff. Real nice tanking from George from the Finns Let Loose, and we saw them playing really well on tanks at the weekend as well. They've been really working on their tank play lately. On the other side, let's check those in a minute. That was absolutely brutal there. And if Ananazas does come in the chat in a minute, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, he's the commander of the Allies. It'll be interesting to see like what maybe went wrong. I'm not sure if perhaps their kind of deployment phase didn't quite go as planned. It's not like they didn't play well and get like good kills and spend a lot of time in the defensive sectors. We saw that defense at the end. Where's our squad here from CC Vespi? We saw Misek absolutely smashing it in defense. They were really trying their hardest, but my goodness, did they get a pounding back there. We also saw a Demos tank squad do moderately well there, although they did, I think, get blown up at the start. We kind of saw that. But nice stuff from both teams. Well played by everybody. The server's kind of emptying, people going for their post-game debrief now, but that was a real quick one, and yeah, fair play. Let's see if Vanzalis wants to get in the thing. Yeah, can we go fast? Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump in with him. And Anazis, hey.
Oh.
That was a quick one, unfortunately.
Yes, it was a total disaster.
I mean, you said that, not me. But what happened? Do you think?
What happened? That I don't know what was going on with one of my defense squads, but doesn't matter. We lost. It's my fault, not yours.
I mean, was there any kind of? Obviously I can't see your guys' map, but like, was there a problem with the deployment stage, like where people like didn't get the Garys up soon enough? Because I thought you guys were going to cap the church at Samaraglis to begin with, to be honest.
It was actually that we lost on defense. Okay, wait a second. We actually, I think that we're gonna take the Saint Marie because our art, I think, was working pretty well.
Yeah, really nice.
I put the 6 guys there. I wanted also a recon tank there for defense from recon.
Yep.
But it didn't work out. I don't know, maybe it worked out, but other squads maybe didn't do enough. I don't know what was wrong. We lost on defense.
Yeah, to be fair to the Axis, I mean, they played really well. Like, obviously, you can watch the game afterwards, but you'll see, like, they got their garrison up. Like, as soon as they took Samari, they had a garrison up at checkpoint, a really nice one, and it drew a lot of your defensive players out into that wheat field on the way to checkpoint, and then they dropped the airhead behind, and it was the airhead that just, it was like basically on your garrison, because you had a garrison like right on the edge of the map, where the guys were pushing from for the defense, and they basically dropped their airhead on it, killed it straight away, and that just let them stream into the point there. That was a really tough one.
Yeah, it was like, actually there's people on the point, but we got straight deleted. And actually we needed one more tank. That was also a problem. If he did have maybe 2-3 tanks, maybe it was a little bit better. One tank is not enough.
Yeah.
On 50 versus 50. But
yeah, I was surprised I didn't see more like 76 action, to be honest. Right to the end, they had Panthers pushing your arty, and it was only right at the end that I saw the 76.
The thing is that I didn't plant a roster, so I got only one tank, so
yeah,
what I can do about that.
You can't do much about that, can you? That's the nature of squad line battle, I guess. So anyone watching, if you want to come play tanks, do apply, because clearly some tankers are required. Thank you for obviously coming on, but like before we kind of finish up, because I know you want to keep it quick, is there anything that you think for yourself is like a learning point from the game, and something that you do differently next time?
Probably yes, but I'm not gonna say what.
Keeping your cards close to your chest. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So can we expect you to come back as commander?
I think so, but we'll see how it works out.
Nice. I mean, both commanders, I think, like this week, both you guys were like last minute pretty much jumping as command. So thank you very much for coming in. I know it can be tough, and sometimes as commander, you just, you have to deal with the situation that you get given. You can't, and especially on squad line battle, you can't pick and say, oh, well, we need this many tank squads, because if only one tank squad shows up, then you only have one tank squad, right? So, don't take it too hard. And the other team, the Axis, they played really well today. So, I don't think it's anyone's fault exactly, but it was a good game, but a quick one. But thank you very much for coming on, and thanks for playing.
It's all good. Congratulations to them, and next time we will win, guys. Sorry for comment.
You're all good, man. Yeah. Thanks for coming on, and hopefully see you again as commander. So
yeah, see you then. Have a nice day.
You too, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, tough one there for the Allies, obviously. I kind of just drew on the map here, like the where the airhead was, where that garrison was, in red. Like, this is where they the Germans, the Axis, they kind of managed to draw the Allies into this area, didn't they? They kind of pushed. I don't want to say push too far out, because like they have to come and defend this. They can't just ignore it. And so they ended up kind of having their guys in this area here, all in that cover of the wheat field, and then that garrison, or the airhead, came down right here, and just allowed them to flood in. Plus, then they had all of those guys from Cemetery as well, who kind of pushed in from like this side through this area, down through here, which was like really, really powerful for them. And of course, having like a nice front line set up as well really helped them. And then we saw a great fight there at the end on the draw. Like that was really nice stuff. But just, I don't know, like a real tough one to defend once they managed to get the garrison up, because they got the Germans managed to get a garrison up here somewhere, which is real powerful. They already had this side kind of locked off. Then we saw that squad, I think it was like back here somewhere. I forget who it was, but they managed to get their OP up. And at this point, this is worst case scenario on any point. Normally I would say that fighting people in like a 180 kind of thing. So if they're pushing from this line and also this way, that's like the hardest thing to defend. But like 3 angles, I mean, what can you do? And then they did end up getting back here as well. They ended up getting tanks back in this kind of area here. So I mean, well played there by the Germans, and pretty unlucky by the Allies. If they'd had slightly more tanks, maybe it could have gone differently. They did a great job on the arty. They kept the artillery very much at bay, didn't they? For the Axis, it could have been even quicker if they'd had more artillery to be able to shell the draw more quickly. They had that nice bombing run at the end, almost kind of won it back. It was coming and going, but in the end, the Axis just absolutely dominated that one. So fair play to them, and fair play to their commander, who wasn't able to join us tonight, Boyter. But hopefully we see them both back, Ananazas and Boyter, for another one. And yeah, I don't think there's much more to say about that one, guys, to be honest. That was a pretty emphatic victory for the Axis. Make sure to go and check out Heathen Hammer if the server 1 is still playing, because that might be still going on. It's probably unlikely that was a half-an-hour game, so do go check them out. And make sure that when the application's open tomorrow, you come and apply for next week's, especially if you're a tank squad, especially if you're a commander, because we had to have last-minute commanders because other commanders couldn't make it today. So you can literally apply to be whatever you want, whether it's recon, tanks, commanders, just an infantry squad. Come with your friends, bring the guys from your community. If you're a clan, bring your new recruits, whatever. Come along. It's always great on Squad Line Battle. That was a quick one. Oftentimes they're very, very sweaty and last an hour and a half, sorry, not half an hour. But yeah, I've been Garfnix, and good night, I guess. I will raid somebody. For me, it's going to be in 15 minutes, so I'll kind of come back and do that when everything's caught up. But I can't ask you to choose somebody to raid, but do make sure that you drop them a follow as well. If Heathen's still going, then I'll raid him, obviously. But make sure you drop him a follow, and yeah, thanks guys for watching. Good night. Well played.